From Freshney Falls to Simwhite Bridge, hollow eyes watch from tired walls beneath the charcoal carcass.
Okay, good. I was just wondering how this project between the artists and the poets collaborating.
Well, I'm having difficulty remembering that because it was so long ago. Okay. But I do recall that the Driftnet Poets were interested in working with the broadest theme of water, which is why I came to you and said, do you want to come for a walk down the Haven with me?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy that?
Really enjoyed it. Yeah. It was a bit warmer than it was today. But
I'm downtown. What did you find when we were walking up and down? We were talking pretty much about nothing, weren't we? But what were you seeing as a painter?
I was seeing more of what the town looked like. Walking somewhere where you've probably walked 100 times, but looking more at things that you don't usually look at. It's like the buildings and the way the water moved and the rubbish that accumulated and the deterioration.
Yeah.
But there was a bit of beauty in some of the parts.
There's a great deal there, isn't there, amidst all of that rubble and all of that debris. Yeah. What I found, and I don't know whether it's because I was in your company at the time, as we were walking along the promenade opposite the Tap and Spile there, I saw the windows in those old 19th, 18th century windows.
Yeah.
And it appeared to me, because some of them had got broken wooden frames around the window, which I imagine may have had grills, metal grills or something before, but they were broken. They looked to me like broken picture frames, and it was almost as if I was watching against that red brick background an art gallery.
Yeah.
And then while we were talking, I also noticed there was these wonderful cobweb arrangements on the railings that were catching the light. And it was almost as if that was a work of art in itself. So I saw that as being some sort of an exhibition.
There's a cobweb exhibition along the promenade, and a gallery of weathered, broken frames telling noir tales of the wharf, where every mill and warehouse echoes.
And that's really where my poem started to grow. I didn't know what it was going to be about. I never do.
Yeah, that's what you should say about the actual windows. I mean, they're kind of abstract in a way when you look at them, because they're all in different directions and all different sizes.
And some of them seem to be skewed, don't they?
Yeah,
they seem to be twisted.
Yeah.
And of course, what you can see inside them. Now, I was thinking of the vegetation that's sort of breaking out of there into the light in some of them, and then just the deep blackness and shadow in others that captured that.
It's just a shame that they've let it go to what it is now to what it was.
Right. Yeah, but of course we wouldn't find it nearly as interesting if we were working, would we? No, there'd be nothing for us artists to go and discover. I'm always drawn as well, personally, but my interest in the area is in travelling back through time and imagining the barges that would have come down there to trade. And I started to imagine I was hearing the voices of those bargees, and so then again my poems beginning to emerge not just in what's there, but in what might be concealed in the past.
Yeah. Peace breathes where trade once raged, when barges from Trent and Ouse came and went, where eel-stangers and bullhead anglers set their pegs, as millers and waggoners' cries spiced the air.
Very nice imaginations, because I wouldn't imagine anything like that, but you know the history more than me, don't you?
Yeah, so perhaps that's why my poem works out that way, but your three abstract pieces that come from that's a lot to do with light, isn't it?
Yeah, light and construction and well, the layers. It was on about layers, about my paintings and your poems.
Did you like my coloured use of ink, my sort of black for the base, and then the green for the editing, and then red for the alterations?
Yeah, that was very interesting. Yeah.
Yes, I was fascinated when you noticed that connection, when you saw that my notes and my second set of notes and my draft and what eventually became the final copy were all sort of layers of interpretation and layers of language. just as your abstract paintings, I mean, the rubble and the rubbish that we saw in the water that I glanced at and glossed over has become the substance of your work on that exercise, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, yeah. When you say about layers, I mean, I could put at least maybe 10 layers on some of my paintings. You know, start from a base, like you say, you start with a few words and you build up into what is a poem, and you know, it's just interesting that we've come together with these layers.
Yeah, and am I right in thinking that what's going on in your process is that you're laying down layers of paint,
Yeah.
but what you're actually creating also or reflecting is layers of light and colour in the obstacles. Just as mine, I feel, is visual on one level, metaphorical on the other, imagining all of those windows being paintings and the cobwebs being some kind of artistic construct as well. And then I'm also bringing layers of time by drawing back the memories and imagining the sounds of those voices.
Well, being a painter, I could put that forgotten time onto a painting. You know, I could actually do the Haven as it is now and probably construct some kind of.
That's what you're doing here, isn't it? With your piece on the pontoon.
So
that's interesting.
So that is another layer added onto the layers that I've already.
Yeah.
We're talking too many layers here.
Yeah.
Now mallard and coot strut and streak, bin liners drift, and a beer can rolls on an algae island. Pigeon lovers caught under rusting bridges, and the vole surveys his dominion, untroubled by green litter and human debris amidst the reeds and weeds, and bubbles break beneath this shoe commode and gently turning wheel.